All right. Guess it's not gonna let me do portrait today. Oh well, guess it is what it is. Here I am. Once again, everybody. Yeah, sorry about that. I was, for some reason, it's not letting me be in uh, landscape mode. It's only doing the portrait thing. The video should be okay though. I mean, my Wi-Fi is just in the next room, so it should be okay. At least I hope it is. Hopefully everybody can see me. Can you hear me? Well, anyway, I see 4 people as being here, so I'm not sure who that is because I can't really see. I don't know. I'm still a rank amateur. But anyway, this is what I'm doing today. Uh, I'll just kind of go through what I have. One thing about this that I failed to mention is that, oh, hi, Gabriel. And, okay. But this plant, I just noticed this morning that it is very fragrant. So that's another plus. Hi, Fernanda. There is still a few buds left to open on this plant, if I can find it. Yeah, there's some right in there. Some down there. But yeah, still fragrant right now. Very much like a freesia. Very fresh. So that is, of course, the feature plant that I'm giving away, although they're all features to me in their own way, or else I wouldn't have them. So that, of course, is that one. Then I'm going to give away this, which is a division off of my formerly epidendrum, now colostylus falcata. I am pretty, now that I'm looking at this mount, you can see what kind of a lazy, I still have parts of the old plant that was on the mount. But irrespective of that, I'm sure whoever gets this, if they want it, if not, I will keep it. But whoever, if somebody picks this, I'm sure they'll clean it up. But it has rooted itself to this handmade wine cork mount. Hey Sharon, good to see you. So yeah, that's that. That is a Mexico species. It grows like, it's from the same family as Epidendrum parkinsonianum. Actually, those used to be confused, or yeah, they used to be confused. Uh, they were considered one and the same, but nowadays they are separate species. The difference is these pseudobulbs are, in the way that it grows, it's kind of wonky. They're thicker and it's wonky. I think that's how you can tell. Maybe it's more nubby at the base of the pseudobulb, but whereas opposed to Parkinsonianum, which is right here, it is more thin and it is more orderly in the way that it drapes, whereas falcata is wonky. I can see the difference. So yeah, there's that. And as I said, it is got a nice little new growth on it. And these are from Mexico, as I said. They like year-round moisture, a little bit less in the wintertime, but especially since it's mounted. Oh, hey, Margaret. Good to see you. Wow. You're up late, but that's good. Okay, so that's the other one. Then there's this gem that I mistaken for another, well, a new area that I don't have. It ended up being the same one that I have, area javanica. This is just a synonym, stellata, but it is a very fragrant plant. Uh, gets, well, you can see the spent spike right there. This is a blooming size plant. Gets inflorescence from the base of the newly uh, matured pseudobulb, and it's white star flowers. The spike can be a foot long when it's fully matured. Hey, Richard. Yeah, I would agree with Todd. It is more beefy. And this is my javanica that I have, that I mounted it because the pseudobulbs do wander. And this is its time for putting up new growths. And hopefully I will get some blooms. It hasn't bloomed for a while for me, but it's taken a while to get established to that mount. So that's another one, another choice. Uh, this is another option that I have, that I am putting in here since I think it's kind of worth it, even though it looks kind of puny. It's a bulbophyllum uh, cornutum, yeah, which is from the same bulbophyllum class as Beckery, which are the very stinky ones. Although this one is not stinky, it is sweet fragrance, little purple dark flowers that are very glossy and shiny, but very sweet fragrant. At least it was when I was at Andy's. This just fell off of a piece of that I was dividing of a plant that is in the greenhouse. But anyway, this is available. And also, I don't know, this is just a recent division. This is a Stanhopea, believe it or not, which has two nice new growths that are coming. It's newly repotted, or newly potted up, I should say. The tag on that plant is, this is that plant, which is Stanhopea tigrina rouge semi-alba times Stanhopea rouge giant. So, if you know anything about Stanhopeas, or tigrinas, I'm sorry. Yeah, Stanhopea tigrina, then you're probably familiar with this cross. This has been available on eBay. It is a semi-alba crossed with a very big tigrina. So the flower is going to be a lighter, probably a yellow, somewhere in that range, cream color. It's an alba. So even though it is a small piece, Stanhopeas do grow pretty fast under the right conditions, and that is something that you won't find every day. And those are the choices for my for not a raffle, for the drawing. I do have a list, a handful of people, maybe 6 or 7 names. What I'll do tomorrow is I will write the names in a post on Facebook, like in the commentary, I suppose, whatever it's called, community. I guess it's called community. And I will put the names of the people that I have so far. So check in the morning and make sure your name is there. If not, let me know, and I will add your name. And I'll just come on after work, and by that time I'll have everyone's name in the hat, and then I'll just pick a name, and that's how it'll be. So one thing I wanted to show before I walk in this jungle is I'm getting ready for my show. It's a fall show, and even though I don't think fall and orchids go together, I decided to make some dead, I don't know, just for background. I'll probably trim some of these leaves off, or it's still 2 or 3 weeks before the show, so they will naturally fall off. I think that looks great. But yeah, those are going to be in my display in the fall show, in the background somehow. Hopefully that cement will set and they will hold. Looks a little moist right now, but I think it'll be okay. So I just wanted to show that because I'm kind of proud of that. Well, it was simple. Let me get a drink of my coffee before I go in here. Oh, hey, Connie. Wow, I will be in Seattle at when am I going at? When am I going out there? It's next month. It'll be the end of October, the 17th. I will be out there. I will be 3 days in the city, and then I'm going out to Kalaloch, out to the out to the PNW. I'll just say it like that. Uh, Basically to the peninsula for a week. So I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, actually, I was complaining about my roots last week, how they had browned on the tips. And Sharon was right, they are coming back. It was probably due to uh, the fertilizer. I'm not sure. But it looks like some of them are coming back, which is a good thing because roots are more important in general than anything else to me. So yeah, just gonna walk through here. So this did work out pretty well, and believe it or not, would not admit I would not well, I'm admitting it, but I would not advise you to do this. But I watered my plants, dunking them in this pot, in this trough, yesterday, and I did it. Took me 5 hours, which is pretty good. It usually takes me 2 days. So, and my back feels great. I mean, it still has some soreness in it, but it's not exacerbated. It's not worse. This is still going strong. Still smells really nice. Really nice. Every time that I come up to put my nose on it, there's like some sort of a cricket or insect that's completely annoyed. Yeah. Yeah, here's my falcata. Like Todd was saying, it is definitely a husky plant. You can see the size of those pseudobulbs. And you can see I have 1, 2, 3. There's one right there, 4. And there's another one way down there. Those are new growths. Trying to point out things that I don't show hardly ever. Thank you, Connie. It's it's totally a work in progress, but I am getting to the point where my wish list is getting smaller every day. It still looks good. The Shiloh token. I don't know how well that spikes is gonna go. It's already got a few flowers that have blasted. I did notice this is an area that I've had for 2 years. Right, yeah, sickle leaf. That's what falcata stands for. You're so smart, Todd. Sharon, you're too much. Okay, let me see. Yeah, this is an area that I've had for 2 years, and it's on the same mount, except that I took it off and put more of this cocoa husk inside of uh, just this plastic mesh and remounted it, and it sat here for 2 summers after that, maybe one summer, and then I noticed just this week that it's finally putting up a new growth, and that's area. Xanthochelia. Sure, Margaret, let me walk in there. I actually showed it last Sunday, or maybe it was this week. I mentioned your name in one of my. Well, you would have seen it if I said it, but I'm pretty sure that I mentioned it. Maybe it was last week. This is something that I'm really happy about. This is my Enobobom unificum, which it did have a inflorescence forming, which was in here somewhere buried. Uh, as the pseudobulbs mature in age, it gets like a nest around the bulbs. This used to be a bulbophyllum, and now it's no, it used to be a dendrobium maybe, and now it's in its own genus. Hey Sandra, and so I thought it was going to bloom for me, but it didn't. Uh, but it put up a new growth, and I'm pretty happy about that. It's a nice fat new growth. So let me walk in here. Actually, you know what, Margaret, I have two of those plants that I just realized today. The one that is really purple, well, both of them are kind of on the purple side, but I guess the flowers will be the same, but the canes are definitely different. You see, this is my tag, and Renee Marquez crossed with Patanara Free Spirit. Let me move this. But yeah, the foliage is dark purple. There's the tag. I just realized that I have two of these, but the canes are very fat. It probably gets more light than the other one. I'm assuming it does. That's that one. The other one that I have, which is being grown in completely different fashion. This is the other one that I have. No, that's not it. It's over here. My bad. And actually, now that I look at it, they are kind of similar. Turn the light off. That's no good. I guess the canes are similar, but it's grown completely different than my other one that's outside. This one is grown in straight sphagnum moss, whereas the other one, I believe, is more or less just bare root in that basket. It might have stone in it or some rock, but this one is just in straight sphagnum moss, and I've gotten several nice new growths. Did bloom for me last year. There's a new growth over here, but you can see it's got purple tint to it. So I think it's getting really good light. I had teased you, Margaret, about yours, and then went and looked at mine, and mine is pretty much doing the same thing, although I think yours is darker. But it's all good. Some of these plants, I think, need that high light in order for it to bloom. Same as this one. This has, well, yeah, has Rene Marcus, but it's crossed with Paniculatum, and it's got purple tint to it. See that streak right there? There's more streaks. And this plant only gets afternoon sun, because the sun comes from that way, and there's all this shade cloth. So it really only gets full sun in the afternoon. And I think it appreciates that, because this is last year's growth that bloomed, and this is this year's. So I'm expecting a sheath to come up at some point. I would think. I think. So yeah. This is that other bulbophyllum that I just added. It's just one bulb to that one, but nonetheless, it's a nice thing. This is something that I wanted to point out. I wish I knew more about it, but I got this from Nats. Actually, Nats told me about this plant when I was there in May. At that time, he had just recently divided these, a clump that he has, I suppose. I don't know where he got them from, but they weren't ready to be released yet. But he more or less said, you have to have this plant. And when he told me the name of it, I had heard of it and was amazed by the plant, but had never seen the actual plant. And it wasn't in flower, but I do remember the flower. This is Arpophyllum. Yeah, I guess it did. Arpophyllum giganteum. And Arpophyllum is semi-terrestrial, although it is epiphytic. And the flowers come out of the top of the newly, developed pseudobulb, newly matured pseudobulb, and it's long spike of very tiny flowers, and it's almost in a plume that looks like a typical, I can't think of any terrestrial orchids right now off the top of my head. Roboquiche, no, but it's a plume that's pink or lilac, and I'm sure if you remember that, if you've heard of that genus. So I don't know how to grow it. I need to do some research. But it's a blooming sized plant, so, and it's got a nice growth on it. We will see. I hope that I'm giving it good care. I really hope. I don't know. What else is going on? This bulbophyllum is developing pretty well. There's another pseudobulb that's forming, and maybe I'll get an inflorescence out of that, like that one is doing. What else? That's exciting. I did find it's coming along pretty good. This is my subulatum, my imbricum. And sorry if my phone is acting up. It's not letting me go into landscape mode, and every time I try, it just rejects me. There's another bud. You can see they're so inconspicuous. And then I found another one that is forming somewhere, but it is difficult to find when you're just rushing. So I'll just leave it at that. What else is there to point out? Kind of worried about my Daichia here because it is really browning. I still have this one that looks okay, although it's starting to brown down there. I hope that it makes it. But these plants down here are kind of just sitting. If you watch my video every day, you know that these are plants that have sheaths on them, or they're bifoliates that just need to rest until next year. If I left them outside, Pontiaca lemon drop, and that one actually has a sheath down there. So that's going to be nice. This is going to be nice as well if it blooms this year. It probably will later on in the fall. That is my Catlianthe Valentine Day that I got a year ago at Missouri Botanical Gardens. I know this is part of the permanent collection. And that's a chocolate drop crossed with intermediate, whatever. I don't know. I never heard of intermediate. Thought it was intermediate. But there's a sheath there. And this is another nice thing, this BC Unabu Legend. This looks like that. It's not a Bonosa. It's what is that hybrid? Hippodamia. That, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's the same cross, but the coloration on the flowers is the same. I think that sheath is going to be okay. This one is cashed. This was a tragedy. This is a bugging me. Well, it's what's his channel? He used to Taming the Orchid. That might still be his channel. But he's been wanting after me to give him my chocolate drop, although Would you give that to somebody? I don't know. I don't think so. Especially knowing how he only wants the best of the plants. And look at that. I just think it's going to die anyway. But he thinks like it's well, he hasn't seen it like this. So I should have send him some screenshots of this, and then he'll say, "Keep your dead plant." I know, but I'm just letting. I actually repotted it and cut all the visibly dead pots, and this is what's left of it, and it's just dying. But I'm just still not going to give up on it. I'm still not going to give up on it. So we will see what happens. Same as like this plant, which is another thing that is one of my plants in my collection that I am very happy to have, and this is the fire dance, which is the Blanca clone, and very fiery red. And I left it up too long. It's gross. It had sheets on it, got rain on it, and it looks like it's inside of there. It's still pink. So maybe that'll bloom. And I'm noticing a new growth there, and there's a root peeking out there. So that's good. And this is my superbum, which is the same as uh, yeah, I'm not really sure what else to show. That's pretty much it. Really, this thing, I'm really looking forward to getting some blooms. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Margaret. I forgot I have issues when I go down to that end. You guys should remind me. I'm old. But I should sign off anyway. And we'll just sign back on tomorrow when I get off work. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I totally forgot about that end of the greenhouse. Sorry about that. I'm absent-minded. So I'm just going to go ahead and go, and I will be back in here tomorrow. So, well, Tracy, you're in. I got you. I think your name is already on the list. Maybe. Thanks, Richard. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Enjoy your orchids. Remember, if you haven't put your name, or I will put the names that I have in a comment. And if you don't, if your name isn't there, just remind me. All right, Todd. Okay. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Enjoy your orchids. Bye.